Abstract brainwaves, game genie in the beanie. We ain't on the same stage, leveled up.
Other Yellow Hat Guy here, back with another video. And let's just jump into it. What do I got here? This is a list of upcoming Switch games. Now, why we're talking about that? Well, it's 2020. It's a new year. There should be a new set of games coming out. And why should Nintendo have a list like this available? Well, you've got PS5 and Xbox Series X, or somebody told me at GameStop they're just calling it Xbox. I don't know if that's true or not, but you know it's Microsoft, right? They've got their consoles coming out. So the pressure then is to say, okay, how can we convince people to still look for the Switch or stay interested in the Switch when it's going to be underpowered compared to these new consoles that come out holiday season? Well, Nintendo has to keep the foot on the gas pedal. Now, they don't share the same audiences overall, but everybody's a gamer, okay? So most people nowadays, I would like to think they have PS4 and Switch, or Xbox One and Switch, or maybe they just have Xbox One and PS4 or PC and Xbox. They've got more than one console, is what I'm trying to get at. More than one way to play video games. I don't think most are just like, oh, on PC only. You might have some more people like that, but if you have a console, I'm sure you've got more than one. And what has helped Nintendo was, hey, some of these third parties were like, look, we like the aspect of it being portable, and people want that, so we'll go through the strenuous, ordeal of making our game playable for your console, like The Witcher 3. Nintendo might have had a hand in that because those cartridge sizes, they're pretty small. I think that had to be like at least a 32 gigabyte cartridge just to put Witcher 3 on that. But that's not a common size for the average Nintendo Switch game. So maybe going forward, now that Nintendo, they have deals going on with some of these cartridge chip makers that make these cartridges to make them bigger. Maybe that's a thing, but they're not going to be able to compete with the 4K resolution and the graphics of some of these games coming out for PS4 and, I'm sorry, not PS4, but, well, you could say that now, right? But PS5 and Xbox Series X. So there are rumors that a Switch Pro is still going to happen, and I'm a firm believer in that. I'm confident that another model Switch revision will release. Now, these rumors and these journal articles are saying that, hey, sometime in 2020 it's going to happen. Speculation is, maybe around the summer, if not earlier, that happens. So what that means is before the end of their fiscal year, which is, I believe, March, April, something like that, those will go into development. And, it doesn't necessarily mean that a Switch will be 4K or 8K or anything like that, but what it does mean is they need a more powerful CPU. They need a more powerful chip to even say, okay, if the high end of Witcher 4, for example, is going to be 4K, blah, 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 what's the threshold that the Switch could be able to even have that ported? Well, it ain't going to be the base Switch, I can tell you that. So, but no, maybe I can't tell you that. Anything is possible. It just will look awful, in my opinion. It'll just look awful if you can see something else that looks like, hey, this looks like, a professional photo, but it's photoshopped, and somebody else has, a photo that you can obviously see is photoshopped. That's going to be the difference between those games, really. Frame rates aside, I don't know what's going to happen with that. But there were some SKUs, some SKUs that GameStop had, and unfortunately it's not on this list because Nintendo removed all of that. They don't want people knowing all those things. So, Tokyo Mirage Session, Monster Jam, Steel Titans, Darksiders Genesis, Mega Man Zero, ZX SD, a lot of Animal Crossing Switch that comes out March 20th, Fairy Tail, and I'm just not going to read all of these, I'm just reading a few of them. Xenoblade Chronicles, Nintendo Switch, Doom Eternal, Pillars of Eternity 2, Samurai Showdown, I'm looking forward to that. Warriors of Orochi 4, also interested in. Land Greaser 1 and 2, I'm looking for that. My Hero 1's Justice. RPG Maker, Fairy Tale, Overpass, Trials of Mana. Somewhat interested in that. So, you've got all of those games and more coming out for Switch, and there's a whole slew of probably heavy hitters like No More Heroes 3, maybe Bayonetta 3, Metroid Prime 4, possibly another Donkey Kong game that are still out there in the wild to be revealed. Now, there should be a Nintendo Direct coming up soon. Matter of fact, there's one coming up tomorrow, so hopefully I get this video up today, if not beforehand, before the actual Direct itself. And that's pretty much going to tell you more information on Pokemon. Now, with Pokemon Sword and Shield, a lot of people had heard about the backlash that was given towards Game Freak and the Pokemon Company. And that was essentially because the full dex of Pokemon wasn't there, right? But there's just so many Pokemon, do you really expect them to keep up with all of them? No, but when people found out that the sprite models that were in Sword and Shield were basically the DS ones, it was like, oh, we're mad now, because you could have done it, you just didn't want to. Fair enough. There's Pokemon Home. There's Pokemon Sleep. Right? So I expect those two to be what the announcement is about. That's what I'm anticipating. So while this won't necessarily allow you to import older Pokemon into a game that doesn't support it, like Sword and Shield, it will allow you to move Pokemon from these games to Pokemon Home. So what that means for me, somebody who plays Pokemon Go, hey, there's a lot of Pokemon that I'm like, hey, I would like to just trade those, and I'm tired of carrying them, waiting for people to get their Stardust up. Let me move those out of my Pokédex, or out of my storage, and save those for when people are ready to get them. Now, I apologize, there's a dog barking, neighbor's dog is barking in the background, but that's what I'm hoping for. I really hope Pokemon Home is what they announce, so I can quickly give them my money, quickly transfer some of these Pokemon, and stop giving Niantic so much of my money just to store Pokemon. Okay? Maybe they announce something else, like some in-game event or some new Pokemon. All that would be very refreshing if they did that. 2-player, or maybe some focus on the Pokeball Go Plus. It didn't really get the love that it had on the Pokemon Let's Go Pikachu and Eevee, so I didn't buy it again after I sold mine. So we'll see. If you've been watching me play that Sword, you'll see that I have a Mew that somebody traded to me for nothing, for like a Zigzagoon or something. I can't even remember what I gave for it, but I can't control it because my trainer level isn't that high, so he just kind of does a really powerful psychic attack, and then he puts himself to sleep because he's like, I don't have to listen to you. Who are you? You're not my boss. You're not the boss of me. That's kind of how I imagine him acting anyway. But, yeah, that's what I expect for the Direct. Doesn't mean that there won't be another follow-up Direct that's more focused on other games, other Switch games. So stay tuned for all of that. They showed the PS5 logo. Surprise! It's just the PlayStation 4 and PS3 font all over again. So nothing new there. Xbox Series X, they're saying, is going to be slightly more, if not more, significantly more powerful than the PlayStation 5, so we'll really see what happens there. But the great news is, no matter which you are looking to get, they're all backwards compatible. Yes. People have come to their senses there. So, me, I just got rid of my PS4. No. Like, if you want to get something new, in my mind frame these days, you got to sacrifice something. So I gave up my PS4 and put the money I got for it towards a PS4 Pro because I got a 4K TV. Really good deal, Black Friday. Pawned my TV in my living room and got a really cheap 4K TV, and it was like $100 difference after the exchange. So while I still spent $100, I still upgraded to a 4K for only $100. So I'm not telling you to just start buying things as long as you trade them. Or maybe I am, but just don't spend all your money doing that. That would be my advice. Always make a lateral move when you're doing something like that. No longer am I just going to buy something just to buy it. I've got to have a plan to get rid of it and go from there. So I was doing that all holiday break. So with that said, they showed a little bit more information. There's a patent out for this plastic piece that's going on the back of PS4 controllers, and what my speculation was that, hey, if you can add that piece to a PS4 controller, maybe you can use that on PS5, because the PS5 controller probably comes with those little additional buttons already on them. And lo and behold, it looks like that's apparently true, because somebody that has a dev kit for PS5 put a note up asking you not to show, but everyone on the internet is going to show. You put something out, it's there on the internet forever, right? Somebody's going to find a way to back it up. They showed what the dev kit looks like, and it looks weird. It's this weird V shape, you know? And I'm like, I know that's the dev kit, and the dev kits don't always be, rarely do they become the final version, but what if that did? What if it was a weird V-shaped thing, and that doesn't look attractive to me at all. It does look futuristic, but no, just no. But I'm still excited for PS5 because it's going to be backwards compatibility with 4 through, original PlayStation, so part of me is like, so maybe it's time to get rid of the PS3 and then just put PS3 games in. And, I think that's where they're going with this. So, it really may be time coming soon. We'll see. We'll figure it out. From that, we've got Platinum Games being bought out by Tencent, this really conglomerate Chinese studio that I think they also own the rights to Darksiders and some other games. And, they're slowly buying up different properties. They're almost coming the Disney of, the East over there. So what that means is while Platinum will have less independence, they'll still have, money up front to make these games that they want to make without worrying about them being canceled. So we'll see how that plays out, what that means for Bayonetta 3, and, the likelihood of a Bayonetta 4 is higher now, so we'll see what happens with that. You had Final Fantasy VII. I would be remiss if I didn't talk about that. Now, there's rumors that a demo is coming out. We know that it actually is going to be true because somehow the demo was advertised on the PlayStation Network, and people have gotten access to that and played some of it. Now, I myself refuse to look at any of it because I want to keep the game fresh for me. Yes, it's a remake. I've already beaten Final Fantasy VII numerous times, but the nostalgia blinders are on. Nostalgia goggles are there, like, yo, let's revisit it. It's going to be so fun. And just like I would, play Link to the Past again, if they remade that, not so much Link's Awakening. Well, I'd replay Link's Awakening, just not for $60. I'm sorry. Don't boo me. But for $60, I will pay for Final Fantasy VII Remake because although it's going to be episodic, they're tweaking the story a little bit. They're adding more backstory. The graphics are going to be stellar. That was the main reason of getting that PS4 Pro. I mean, I've said it before in other videos. I bought my PS4 solely for Final Fantasy VII. When they announced that, I was like, okay, Mortal Kombat is going to look good. The first Mortal Kombat that came out, I think it was Mortal Kombat X. So I immediately went to the pawn shop and got one at earliest convenience. I was like, I'm waiting for Final Fantasy VII. Here we are, PS5 announcement. We still don't have Final Fantasy VII yet. But less than 2 months away. It's coming. So that demo is also coming. It's out there. It spoils not only the changes, but changes for the upcoming disc and the whole game overall. So be on the lookout for that. If you don't want to see any of that stuff, keep your eyes, away from any kind of spoiler content when you can. So I think I'll end it here. I'm sure there's something I missed that I forgot. There's been a lot of news out. I just kind of regurgitated what I had seen and saw other news and other YouTubers speak on, and wanted to share all that with you guys. So I will wrap it up here. I will see you in the next video. Stay tuned for more content that I got coming your way soon. We'll follow up with what they share in the Nintendo Direct. I will follow up with that stuff and see you guys in the next one. Captain Sensation!